Hi guys, so it seems that the general election will not take place in May this year, but it will be towards the end of this year. The Tories need more time to fill their pockets and the pockets of their donors. But according to Rishi Sunak, his working assumption, whatever that means, is that the election would take place at the end of the year. But he seems to be campaigning now, which is strange. Have a listen.
It's a new year. Is it also going to be a general election year?
Yes. So look, my working assumption is we'll have a general election in the second half of this year. And in the meantime, I've got lots that I want to get on with. This Saturday, we'll be introducing a significant tax cut for millions of people in work, worth on average £450 for an average worker. Because we've halved inflation, we want to keep managing the economy well and cutting people's taxes. And I want to keep tackling illegal migration. And we cut the number of arrivals last year by over a third, but we've got more to do. And we want to get the Rwanda scheme through Parliament and up and running. So look, I've got plenty to get on with, and that's what I'm focused on doing, delivering for the British people. And it's great to be talking to people here in the East Midlands about that progress today.
Just to clarify, you said second half of the year, so you're ruling out a May election?
I said, look, my working assumption is that we'll have an election in the second half of this year, because in the meantime, I've got lots that I want to get on with. And that means cutting people's taxes this Saturday. That's a tax cut worth £450 for an average person in work. We can do that because we've halved inflation. I want to keep going, managing the economy well and cutting people's taxes. But I also want to keep tackling illegal migration. Last year, we got the numbers down by a third. And now we need to get our Rwanda scheme through Parliament, up and running, so we have a full deterrent, and that's how we're going to really solve this problem once and for all. So look, I've got lots to get on with, and I'm determined to keep delivering for the British people, and it's been great to be talking to people here in the East Midlands about our progress today.
Okay, this is all very confusing, because he's speaking as if the general election will take place at the second half of this year, but he's talking as if he wants to have the election as soon as possible, because he's talking about, this is what we're dealing with, this is what we're doing, cutting inflation, stopping the boats, cutting taxes, things like this. He's speaking as if he's in campaign mode, but he's talking about having the general election at the end of the year, or the second half of the year. I keep thinking that it's attempt to get around the problem that Labour have put in place. Labour have said that the election would take place in May. Rishi Sunak doesn't want to buy into that because he'll be handing over the narrative to the Labour Party. So instead what he's doing is he's saying, well, the election will take place at the end of the year. So as if it does take place in May, he's trying to get one over on the Labour Party. So it'll ultimately be Rishi Sunak who will decide when the general election will be. I keep thinking that it'd be towards the end of the year, because whatever he wants to achieve, it will take time. If he wants to have tax cuts have some sort of impact, it'll be later on in the year. A May election would not help the Tories. But on the other hand, if there is a May election, they can focus most of their campaigning in that month and avoid the problem of an embarrassment with the local elections, the failure at the local elections having an impact later on. So it would be better just to bite the bullet and have it in May than to stretch it out, to extend it out to the end of the year. But we'll have to wait and see. None of this is working in Rishi Sunak's favour. An early election will be extremely damaging to the Tories. A later election could be even more so. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.